after a 1 week of leave, so we are going to start again um, to do the Patrick stuff in the ERP. And if I give a kind of a summary what we have done so far, and I'll show it to you. Okay, so first 2 days we were talking about how we create a database and how we get into log into the system and how to do the small activity, and then we talk about the concept of CRM, and under that we have created a partner in the sense it can be a customer or vendor. Both comes under partner and how to create a partner, and end of this summary I will do a one example and creating a partner and create an item. Then if anyone missed the previous lectures can be catch up. If you have any queries, questions, you can raise them and there. So we talk about creating of a partner, and we can give him a picture, or like we can notify him, like we can differentiate the persons from other partners, and we talk about basic concepts. One of is creating a chart of accounts, and how to configure it, how to create a bank account, and how to create a journal. So those are the basic activities that we need to perform, and depending on the company nature, we need to create either product or service. Product is a stockable product where you can see it's a physical one. You can store and you can physically count, and you can manage with product. And services, there are companies who provide services. So service company does not need a product, then we have to create the product as a service. However, in the Odoo side, we call all as a product. But when you go into the product, you can see whether it's actually a physical product or a service or a consumable. So that can be differentiated depending on the company nature. Then we talk about these are the differences I was explaining, and then we went through creating the product variants. Product variants is a variant of a product where, like, if you have as for example, if you have a t-shirt, then under the t-shirt you can have different, like you can differentiate the t-shirt from the size, colors, quality of cloth, color size, color shape, likewise. So based on these, maybe there are more. So based on these, you can categorize your product. So when you, I will explain you how to create it in a short way. So if you have a t-shirt, then if we are differentiating from the size, you can have small, medium, large, XL, double XL. So in this situation, you don't need to create for each a product. Let's say t-shirt small, t-shirt medium, t-shirt large, t-shirt double XL. You don't need to create one by one product for each and every variant. A part of that, in Odoo provide you a solution where under the product you have a special thing called variant. So under the variant you can create either small, medium, whether it's a red, it's white, black, it can be created. I will show you how to do it. So last time I have given few activities to do. I hope like everyone has done it. If not, like I will do one of each, then you can catch up. So anyone who is familiar with you, if you are not created, you can create it with me. Else, like I will first teach you how to create it. Then I will give small time. Then you can do from your own. Okay. So I have created the top ones. So I will go with Sri Lankan Airlines. So I just copy it. So when you come to the Odoo, under the Odoo, there is a thing called contact. So if you are not see a contact, so what you have to do is you go to the apps, and here you can search contact. Then your contact module will be appear. If you are not installed, it will appear one button as install. Then you can click it. After that, it will install. So if you have already installed, no need of install it again. And I said you like after any module, if you have installed, then you have to go and give the permission. So how you give the permission is go to the settings. Under the settings, there are users. Under that, manage users. So you click on manage users. Then you can see your name, rather a user. If you are working in an actual company, you can see a lot of users from supply department, users from finance, users from IT, users from procurement. All the users can be seen in one place. So the importance is giving the permission is there are situations where your sales team only do the sales, they cannot do the payment. So one of your sales team has done a sales, the person is enters in the system where he create the purchase sales order, then he convert into the invoice, then it provide the customer. But when customer is paying, the same salesperson not be able to mark the payment, match the payment. It is because like segregation of duties, where like same salesperson is not allowed to get the payment. Normally what happens is they go to the client and get the payment, but in the system they are not able to match it. If the same salesperson given a system access to match the same invoice, what happens is fraud will happen. So normally people tend to do fraud, for example. So in the beginning of month, when you get a payment from client, if client get a 30 days of credit, which means the client can be paid before the end of month. So salesperson, what they do is like they take that money and they keep it till like 30 days by doing their expenses. End of the month, they like deposit into the company account and get the payment match. However, the product will be delivered to customer will not be notified, even the person who is handling the cash not be notified. So salesperson do the matching thing. So segregating of those duties, normally system provide the user levels. So for example, salesperson only get that user level, and the person who match the sales, who do the bank reconciliation, who take the payment, is able to do the payment matching part. In this situation, this user level is very much important. If you are a company, you are working a company where they are trying to take a ERP, then this user integrations, like user segregations levels need to be matched. Okay, so when you come to the user, then you see, okay, all the modules has been installed, and you can click on edit. We were talking about contact, so under the contact you can give the administration power. So if you get the accounting part, you may have 3 levels: billing, accountant, and advice. So each and every module, according to their variation, they have different user levels. So one only can see the let's say sales order, other can edit or validate, another person can take the payment. Even that payment who is entered, there's a person who can validate the payment. So even companies segregating that part as well, because of this the incidents the people were doing for past few days, past few years rather. Okay, so So when you come into like when you're done with these settings, then the person can come to the front and you can go to the contact. Under the contact, you can see both your suppliers as well as customers. So you click on create, and you just copy paste. Either you type the name. So when you're creating, you can give full information. What happens is like later on, you can easily capture. Let's say this client is not paying, client is overdue. Then you can click on this. You can come into this client and go inside. You can see, you can get the mobile numbers, email numbers. So easily you can track the information if you give full information when you're creating. So for this instance, I will just put the name, and you can fill these. Then come to the sales and purchase. Under that, you can assign a salesperson. Like if let's say we assume this is a supplier, even suppliers can be your customers, so both can be managed in same screen. So when considering this as a supplier, then you have to give the payment terms and supply currency and any tax position. And when it come to accounting, you can give the bank account if the person has. And if it's either it's a customer or supplier, then you have to give both account receivable and account payable. And last time I explained, like company can have like two different receivables, I mean different receivable account for different set, like different locations. And the person's customers, if customers are based on different location, let's say down south and Kandy, so you can have different receivable accounts. It's easy to track. And your suppliers, if they are based on like foreign countries, let's say India, Australia, Singapore, then you can have different payable account and easy to track. Or else like you can have one account. And if you want to give some internal notes, then you can give it. Then you can save. It will come like this. And when you log into the, you come to the customer database, and you can even supply database, you can easily see the summary of them, where what are the opportunities, what are the meetings, what are the sales and purchases, invoice amount, bills, everything can be seen in one place. Okay. So next, I hope that all you guys did, I mean, get it clearly. If anyone has any questions, I will just wait for a 1-2 minutes, then you can raise. So I can clear it out if you have any questions. Either you can talk or you can message. Okay. So other one I gave you to create like 10 customers. So is it the same way? You can create the same way, nothing is different. You can come to the contact and then you can create. So there are another way. There is in Udo there's a thing called like anything you do in like any apps can be do in different apps because it's all interconnected. As for example, I created a vendor, then same vendor I can create by going into purchase. So how we do is you click on purchase, you can create an order, then there's a vendor. What happens is it will link to the same screen. So that can be done. And again, for a customer, you come to the sales order, then customer. So your customers can be seen. So each and everything can be in different ways. So it is possible in Odoo. Other one I explained was creating a chart of account. So when you're creating a chart of accounts, first of all, you have to go to the accounting and configuration. accounting and configuration. Under that, you can see under the accounting again, you can see chart of accounts. You click on that, you can see all your chart of accounts. So if you are creating another one, you click on create, you give a code. Code should be a unique one. As for example, you can see there are code has been given. So normally companies give range of code for one type of account. As for example, if in this company, if you take uh, like expenses starting with this six 600,000 to it goes till like 962,000 depending on the company nature. If you have so many expenses, if you have like parent and child company, let's say two companies handling in same module, then you can give a lengthy number of accounting code for expenses. Likewise, depending on the company, if your company has more expense nature, so more expense you have, you can give more range of numbers. Then it's not a mandatory thing, and some company does not create accounting code given, but it's a good practice to give. What happens is then in the code you can by going into like when you are working by the code, you can differentiate account. So for example, I will create a expense account. So I will pick a number. I can see like it can be 10 to 25. There's no nothing. So I will pick that number. So I'll get expense as a professional charge, copy it, then I come to chart of account. So I click on create. I'll give unique number and I copy and paste my name, expense name, then type. Basically, like when you are doing accounting, you know about accounting types. So there are receivable accounts, bank and cash account, current asset. Like you are learning about 5 categories, but when it comes to easiness of ERPs, they have divided same category into deeper level. Like for example, cash and bank and the current asset. Normally we call came like cash and bank comes under current asset, but in here like for easiness of understanding and getting the report easiness, so they have divided into different levels. Even we have a accounting for prepayments. So and likewise we have different, even depreciation we have a different account rather than expenses. So if you put a differentiation in the same category, so all depreciation come under that place in your P&L. So what happens is I will click on the expense. Then these three are mandatory. Code, name, and the type is a mandatory. But given the tax code is not a mandatory, but you can have the tag depending on the your cash flows statement, operating activity, financial activity, investment. You can divide if this account fall under any category, you can click on that category. It's not a mandatory. Depending on your company nature, you can group the account either it's the administration expenses, sales and distribution, either finance expenses. You can group your account. When you're getting the P&L, you can see the structure. First administration, then sales and distribution, then financial expenses. And if it's a foreign account, then definitely should be select the currency. Basically, this applies for a bank account. So normally, if you are working in Sri Lanka and since you have a foreign currency account, then you need to create that accounts, bank accounts in system. Then you have to give the correct currency. Normally, we are not giving currencies. The companies who are operating in Sri Lanka, like not for expenses, we are not giving currencies. But for a bank account, yes, we do give the currency. And here in the Odoo, you can do reconcile any account, not only a bank account, but any account. So if you need to give that reconciliations, you need to tick it. Then when you come to reconciliation, you can select this account and do the reconciliation. Then you know, okay, what are the expenses you put in, what are has been reversed, and everything can be captured. Since this is not depreciated, you don't need to click it. So you simply click on here, save. So it will be saved. Okay. So if you have any clarifications, if you have any questions regarding creating chart of accounts, so you can ask. So I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes, then you can practice with what are the activities that I give. Okay. So then we were talking about creating a product. So as I explained, in a company there are 3 types of product. One is a service, one is a consumable, another one is a product. So when you're creating a product, there are a few ways to go. Either you can come to purchase and you can click on product and products, or you can come to the inventory, under that master data, product. So you can use both ways. So when you come here, you can click on create. Under that you can give the product name. You can make it option whether it's a saleable product or it's a purchasable product. Some companies have some raw material which are only can be purchased, then you untick this can be sold. Then when you're creating a sales order, if you untick this product, it won't appear in your sales order. It's only a purchasable product. Some of raw materials you purchase, you are not selling it, but you are moving to your productions. Some of products, if you are a buying and selling company, you purchase same product can be sellable, so you are selling the product. So depending on company nature, you can tick these signs. So easiness is, if you have lot of product, let's say you have 10,000, 15,000 product, if you are not categorized based on whether it's a saleable or purchasable, so when you are creating a purchase order, all product will appear. When you are creating a sales order, all product will appear. So you can eliminate the difficulty by selecting a correct category. And moving into here, you have product type. As I explained, whether it's a consumable, service, or a storage, stockable product. Okay. So after that, we have product category, which means you can categorize your product. In my example, I had product like Axio, Aqua, and Prius. Those are come under Toyota. And Civic, CRV come under Honda. So X1, X5 come under BMW. So in this situation, product category is Toyota, Honda, and BMW. My products are Axio, Aqua, Prius, and other stuff. So when you're creating this kind of a tree pattern, then you need to create a product category. So how you create a product category is, there are few options you can do. You can click on here and create an edit, or you can click on a configuration, then you can create product categories. So we do provide you few options to create. So when you come to product category creation, you can see all your existing product category. So if you want to create a new one, so you click on create. So I'm going to create a Honda here. So Honda is not appearing under my category, so I create a Honda. So if you have any questions, you can raise. So you click on create, then you give your name. Then when you come to here, as you can remember, I explained a costing method, whether it's the standard costing, first in first out and average costing. So I'm not going to explain it again. So depending on your company nature, company preferences, you can select. Once you select that, once you've done the transaction, you cannot be changed. So you keep it in your mind. So inventory valuation should be automated unless you have to go one by individual transaction and you need to post it. So if you keep it automated, then it's easy for your life. And you can select income account. Okay, what's the account should be updated when you do sales on this product. This is your income account. Okay, what's the product, what's the account should be updated when you are purchase and sell this product. So cost should be come under this expense account. Normally we call as cost of goods sold or cost of sales. So any name can be possibly taken. So you should give the expense account. Even this is not a saleable account, saleable product. If it's a raw material, even you transit to the production, then the cost should be allocated into an account. So this is that account. And you can give three stock account. One is a stock interim receiving account, stock delivery and stock valuation account, and journal, stock journal. So likewise you can create the your main category. Then you click on save. It will appear in your when you're creating the product. So again I go to the product screen, you click on create. So I'm going to create a Civic. So I give the product name, then I give it a stockable product and I select the Honda. Internal references, let's say if you have internal reference for Civic, then you can give it. And this is not applicable, practically applicable for this car, but if you have a small like bookshop items like a book and a pencil or like a small pencil box, something like that, you can have the barcode. Normally it will print that with the barcode. If not, you can print it and paste it. That barcode number you can give it here. When you do the sales, you just scan your barcode, then a product will be appear. And you can give the sales price, and if product is taxable, then you can have the tax code, and you can give the cost price. And unit of measure is a must. Either this is a unit or this is a kilo, or depending, maybe if it's a service, maybe it's a hour, and if it's a liquid, it's a liter, so you can give it. And Odoo can maintain both two different unit of measures. Like when you may have purchase under units, you may have sales under yards. It's possible because like you are purchasing from one unit of measure and you are converted to a different one, you sales in different unit of measure. That is possible in Odoo. And this is a product variant I was explaining. So you can have at line, then you can have color. So I already created the color the last day, so it will appear. Then you can give red, and you can give blue. Again, you can give black. So Civic can be having three different colors: red, blue, and black. So if it's continuing, you can have more colors. So what happens is you don't need to create a product like Civic red or Civic blue or Civic black. Eliminating that part, you can have one attribute as a color. You can click on adding more colors. Then when you see your inventory, you can see under each color, okay, but how many quantities do I have in Civic red, how many quantities do I have in Civic blue, and how many quantities do I have in Civic black. Similar way, if you have another attribute, another thing, you can add it. Then keep on adding. You can have many attributes. Under each attributes, you can have number of product that you have. Make sure not to duplicate. Let's say if you have, as for it's not the case. As for example, if you have 1000 cc and if you have a 1500, then don't mix with color and the engine capacity. Then in your stock sheet, if you put, let's say you have, let's say if you have two, let's say you have three colors, 2 from 1000 cc and 1 from 1500, 1.5 liter. So two are reds and one is black. So don't put like color, 2 reds and 1 black. Again under engine capacity 1500 and 1000. So it will duplicate your inventory. Take one attribute and put that attribute, because like each and every product normally you are categorizing in a one unique way. So you get that categorization and put it in the system.